there's this separation between they see someone who can be that dedicated to work out at 4 a.m. and they say that's a different type of person. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is. I think it's a different understanding. I think it's a different level of
I
commitment.
like that.
But there's just this, people will say it to me. Oh yeah, you can do that, but I could never do. And it's like
Mm.
fucking like that attitude right there is why you can't. Not because I'm built different, not because my muscle fibers are different. I have some sort of different
Yeah.
genetic. It's just I want you to talk about the 4 a.m. coon. Why you still do it?
Yeah, it's a mentality, man. So here's the thing about the 4 a.m. stuff that a lot of people don't realize. Well, first off, there's only a few of us that do this for our living that are in it. A lot of the guys, man, after we're done training, they're doing construction work across the city, electric work across the city, teachers, professors. I mean, there's guys that do every walk of life that is in that crew. And from, I think our youngest dude's maybe 17 or 18, and the oldest is Don's like, what, 56? So, I mean, it's a wide range. Most of the guys that are the really strong fucking killers are like between 25 and 30 years old. But it's like, it really, for me personally, it happened out of necessity. So if I still want to be a competitive guy, right, all the way into my 40s and 50s, hopefully, and I still want to be dad and I still want to run multiple businesses, my kids are at practice after school. My kids got games after school. I got multiple businesses I'm running during the day. Like the only time that really made sense was before 5 a.m. because we worked out at 5 a.m. for a long time. But once we went to 4, it changed everything because I think one, more people can get across the city if they need to. Two, I think that people weren't rushed as much. And then you really found out who was about it. It weeds out people so quick because if you're half in a different life and half in this life, like you're half in the bar life, you're running around, you can't make it. And now the guys are so strong, you're gonna get hurt. You're just gonna get hurt if you're not taking your shit serious during the week. Yeah, maybe sometimes you can push your sleep back a little bit, like to 11, and get away with it. Or you had like an extra drink you shouldn't have had on a Wednesday. Most guys know like they just can't get away with that and do what we do, especially not at the numbers. I mean, dude, at this point, from 148 up, every number on our record board, squat, deadlift is 600 plus. I mean, I think the 165 might be 5.5, but you're talking like everybody's fucking strong. Like I see stuff here that I only saw one other place, and that was at Westside Barbell, and our guys don't take drugs. So I'm seeing crazy strength right now. I'm seeing shit I've never seen before, and I've been around a long time, right? So it's a mentality, it's a brotherhood. Our gym's private now, so you can't just roll up in here anymore like you used to be able to. So it's invite only. So yeah, I want people to know when they walk in, they got to put their best foot forward. That's the only way we're all going to get better. So there's competition. That's 4 a.m. is our practice time. Our game days is the meets. The locker room is our brotherhood. Everyone has that in high school that plays sports. They don't realize how much they miss it. You had the same shit at Reebok. You remember that, right? You had your team, your squad, your practice, like, or at your CrossFit gym. I think that's another reason why that's done so well is because it mimics that. People lose that after high school or college sports, or maybe never had it. They don't realize how important it is. It's very important. I've had it represented in my life almost my entire adult life to some degree, but the last decade, it's been represented at an extreme level. And I think I've got extreme results because of it.
I love that. I think it's the brotherhood, and not exclusive to just men, but we
No, it's
talk
not
about
exclusive, man.
it is being a part of something. And in order for
Yeah.
it to have some substance, you gotta fucking grind. That there's
Gotta be
something
real,
about that
bro.
that shared suffering that
Yeah.
people will avoid it because it looks scary until you're in it and you look around and you're like, this is something worth doing. This is something worth getting up for. The feeling that you
Accountability.
get 100%.
Accountability to your brothers, man. Like I got to be here to spot the next guy. Like, look, I won a workout the other day, but I think it's because most of the guys were gone and this and that. But I've been getting beat for years, bro. But I come here every day to whoop everyone's ass. It just don't happen no more. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm still able to make good numbers as a master's lifter because I got a great team. And I'm helping push guys that are younger, that are way more talented and stronger than I ever was. but because I understand the methodology now, because I didn't spend all this time working on it and learning from guys like John Bros, Louis Simmons, Arnold, all of these like heavy hitters, Dr. Serrano, Pasquale, like I'm putting all this to good use. And I've seen it even like my high school kids, including my son, walked into kind of a finished product. Like we're still refining stuff, but like the system is pretty solid. So I watch like high school kids that could barely fucking deadlift 225 to where now kids are pulling, minimum 365, 405, 455, 500. It's like, it's wild. None of these dudes are really that big. So I've seen some pretty lights out type of things with the methodology and kind of the things that we do here. It's been awesome.
And that's kind of the route of elite powerlifting for you and
Yep.
that crew. What about the aesthetic stuff? I mean, I've seen you on pretty much every bodybuilding magazine cover,
Mm-hmm.
just bricked up, whether you got the kids on you, whether you're just flexing up. And it's like, even the bodybuilding side of things, like there's a similar amount of discipline, but what drove that world, or I mean, what was kind of the start of that? What was that first magazine, and how did you get the inspiration to do that?
Yeah, so that was what's funny is because magazines aren't even really a thing anymore, right? I mean, what Men's Health might still be out there or whatever, but like the reality is like when I came into the industry, I knew I wasn't going to be Mr. Olympia. I really wasn't I did my first powerlifting meet when I was 17, but I was more into bodybuilding when I was in my early 20s. I did my first bodybuilding show when I was 20, I think. And so I just remember thinking, okay, especially in like the late 90s, man, everybody was like 220 and shredded until CrossFit got popular or like fitness in general got a little bit popular. Then I was like, man, I might have a shot at this because I could get the 180. I could be 180 and shredded,
Yeah.
and I might have a chance to do the cover stuff. And so I became obsessed with two things. I wanted to be on the cover of magazines and I wanted to own my own gym. Those were two what I thought goals that felt far away but attainable for me that would separate me from the pack.